Bass! Hey, welcome to the Tony Scott Internet Show. I can't believe that it's already Thursday, but it is. And here we are with the weekend just around the corner. What's going on with you? I got to tell you, I got a lot of feedback. People are anxious. People are promising. People are committing to showing up to my first Tony Scott Live event in St. Louis. If you're going to be in St. Louis, we are going to be on December 5th from 6 to 8 p.m. We're going to be at Kathy's Kitchen. And you're invited to come down if you want. You can bring the family. You can bring the kids if you want. I mean, you know, getting in is free. If you want to eat and drink, well, that's on you. Oh, man, I ain't got no job. Can't pick up the tab, ain't got no job. I'm just telling you. But I'd love for you to come by. We're going to stream it. We're going to tape it. We're going to put it on TV. And we'd love to have a live audience. You guys have always been so good in supporting me, and you guys seem to be very excited about this. I am too. For the first Tony Scott Live at Kathy's Kitchen in Ferguson on December 5th. All right. You can also buy, I got mugs. Let me mug you. That you can get for $9.99. Got two different styles that you can get on the website unheardmedia.biz. Unheardmedia.biz. All right. Scandal Thursday. What's going to happen tonight? Seemed like last week Olivia Pope stood up to her father. Big time. And rather enjoyed it. I remember standing up to my father one time. I was scared, man. I thought he could smell how scared I was, if you know what I'm saying. I mean, it was one of those things, and I don't know. It was stupid. It was a bad move. I mean, my father never hit me, but my father had this way, like all fathers do, giving you this look that will make you pee in your pants. And that's pretty much how Dad ruled. He just gave you a look. He never hit any of his children. He didn't believe in hitting children. I never hit any of my children. Now, I did have to tap my grandson one time, but it wasn't that big of a deal. I just hit him twice. I didn't even hit him hard because I didn't know how to hit a kid because I never hit one. So I was kind of lost, you know? Whatever. Man, what's going on? The Justice for Mike Brown Leadership Coalition wants a public boycott of businesses Thanksgiving weekend. Now, the purpose of this is to pressure Governor Jay Nixon to appoint a special prosecutor in the Michael Brown killing. I wasn't aware that that could still happen because the grand jury is set to be almost done. Although I got more on that in just a second, but I didn't know that was a deal. That it was still possible to get. I guess it is still. I just figured once they started, it couldn't. Yeah, I guess you can still do it. Why couldn't you still do it? It's not over with yet, right? African American businesses are set to be exempt, and this is probably where that statement is going to probably nullify a lot of the boycotting. Boy, the boycotts don't really work anymore. I mean, because they're never really effective because they're always targeting the wrong thing. Remember when gas prices were out of control? My daughter in Houston told me, in Galveston, well, she's in Webster, she told me that gas down there is like $2.49 a gallon. But remember when and people were saying, let's boycott the gas stations by not buying gas? And, you know, it had to be pointed out. I mean, that boycott was starting to get some real traction across the country. The people were saying, I'm not going to buy gas. Nobody's going to buy gas on a certain day. It was going to bring the gas stations to their knees. And then it came out that gas stations don't make money selling gas. This is why every once in a while you'll see an old gas station close down, tear it down, rebuild, and open up as a big, giant convenience store. That's where they make their money. They make their money in the store. They don't make their money selling gas. The profit margin is, if it even exists, is minimal. They make their money inside when you go in there and buy your beer and your sodas and your hot dogs. Why do you think these stores, like here in the St. Louis area, just Quick Trip, right? I mean, they've added like a deli back there now. I mean, they've got I think you get a home loan back there somewhere. I mean, they've got everything in that store. This is where they make their money. So a boycott, how effective that'll be, I don't know, because, you know, we're not on the same page like we used to be back in the 60s when they boycotted, you know, the bus boycott and all that stuff. But it just doesn't really happen anymore. I don't know why, but it just doesn't seem to be very effective. But good luck. St. Louis County Prosecutor Bob McCullough has asked Dr. Michael Bodden to testify to the grand jury that's looking into Michael Brown's murder. Now, Dr. Bodden is the pathologist that examined Michael Brown's body and did it as a consultant for Michael Brown's family. This is a huge thing, y'all. I don't know if you understand what's going on here, but Dr. Michael Bodden testifying to this grand jury is huge for Michael Brown's family to get justice. Like I said, he did examine Michael Brown's body as a consultant for the Brown family. He's a world-renowned pathologist. In the press conference afterwards, if you remember, he did have a lot of questions that he didn't know the answer to because it didn't make any sense, based on what the police were saying. He was the one who told us that Michael Brown was shot on the top of his head. He said, and he also pointed out there are some things that we'll never know based on what he found out. We'll never know if Michael Brown was charging Officer Darren Wilson or what. We don't know a lot of these things, but this is a huge thing. Michael Bodden, Dr. Bodden, also used to have an HBO show. Remember that, Autopsy? That was his show. So we'll see what comes from that. In a new study, a team of researchers, I saw this yesterday, researchers at University of Illinois at Chicago and Arizona State University found that fast food chains in predominantly black neighborhoods were more than 60% more likely to advertise to children than in mostly white neighborhoods. The researchers also found that fast food restaurants in middle and low income areas tended to direct their ads toward children more times than in high income neighborhoods. And those in rural communities tended to market their products to kids more often than those in more urban settings. Fast food restaurants in black neighborhoods have big time higher odds of using kids' meals, toy displays to market their products to children compared to restaurants in white neighborhoods. This is according to one of the lead authors of the study. The associations we observe, they say, are troubling because we know that black children are at a higher risk for consuming unhealthy diets, including fast food, and have a higher prevalence of obesity. Aha! Aha! You see, they thought just having liquor stores in black communities, that's a problem. But this apparently, the way they're targeting and marketing fast food products in black neighborhoods is way different than it is in white neighborhoods. That needs to get a lot of attention. That story needs to get a ton of attention. Entertainment news, Ariana Grande and Jessie J, I have no idea who they are redoing Brandy and Monica's The Boy Is Mine. Why they chose to redo that, I don't know. It's a cute little bubblegum song and, good luck. But who was that redid Johnny Kemp's Just Got Paid? Was that the Backstreet Boys or was that NSYNC? I could never tell those two apart. But one of them did that and they didn't get anything out of that. That didn't take off on any level at all. I don't think. I don't even remember hearing it. I just heard about it. But they're going to do The Boy Is Mine, then go for it. Go for it. Erykah Badu and her daughters Mars and Puma were chilling at home, goofing around. And when your mom's a singer, you have fun singing songs and all that. And they were singing Colbie Callier's Try. And then Erykah Badu broke out her smartphone and decided to record it. Want to hear it? Here it goes.
Put your makeup on, get your nails done, curl your hair, run it, shama, keep it slim so they like you. So they like you. Get your sexy on, don't be shy, girl, take it off. This is what you want to belong, so they like you. Do they like you? You don't have to try so hard. You don't have to give it all away. You just have to get up, get up, get up, get up. You don't have to change a single thing. You don't have to try. 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 You don't have to try.
All right then. Well, there you go. How about that? Erykah Badu and her daughters Mars and Puma doing Colbie Callier's Try. Just to hear a girl who hasn't hit puberty sing "Get Your Sexy On." I don't know, man. But hey, song has a message, right? That's the one I'm going with. A judge in New York City, Orlando Marazzo, Judge Marazzo has ordered Kevin McGlynn to stay away from Rihanna's apartment. Now, he was caught lurking. He wasn't caught hanging around. Now, what's the difference? How do you determine lurking versus stalking? Versus just hanging around versus just being a groupie? He was seen on video, though, 3 different times delivering messages to a member of Rihanna's camp. So apparently he was lurking, and he called her a bitch several times and threatened to bum rush her apartment. He sent 4 letters to her California home. He's accusing Rihanna and other artists of stealing his music. Now, the judge compared this guy, Kevin McGlynn, to Mark David Chapman. Mark David Chapman murdered John Lennon of the Beatles 30 years ago. This kid, Kevin McGlynn, was actually committed back in September and has been trying to get out ever since. But the judge says no contact, no email, no phone, no text, no written letter, no smoke signal, nothing. Do not contact Rihanna in any way, shape, form, or fashion, or we will lock you up. He's still locked up. He's trying to get out of the mental ward, though, so we'll see. That's got to be frightening, though. I just can't imagine, I when I was a kid, even now, I never wonder where celebrities live. I'm not concerned about. I mean, they put you put your house in a magazine and stuff like that about how just great it is. I mean, that's because you're showing people how great it is. But you never put your address in the magazine. How do these people find? Do they follow them? How do you find a celebrity's address? I mean, like a top shelf celebrity, like Rihanna's an A-list celebrity. Let's call it what it is. How is that? I mean, I guess it's easier to do now with computers and the internet and stuff like that. But man, that's got to be scary on lots of different levels. You know what else is scary? Watching Usher and Tamika Raymond have sex. Apparently, there's been a sex tape out for a while, and a man is shopping it. 6 years ago, Usher's car was broken into, and 2 laptops, 2 video cameras, $1 million worth of jewelry was stolen. Now, if someone does make a deal with one of these companies to put it out, they would have to get the permission from Usher and Tamika. Aha! That should tell you something. Anytime you hear about a celebrity sex tape that got out and it's being distributed by a company like Vivid Entertainment or whatever it is, and then these celebrities say it was stolen, don't believe them. Because they have to give their written permission before it's even put out on the market for sale. You know what I'm saying? So Mimi Foss, when she did that on Love and Hip Hop? When she did that, it was a done deal. When it was distributed and you could buy it on the internet from a company, then they gave their permission. And of course, it came out later that they did. The whole thing was a setup. Although she did put in work, I will say that. But Usher has his lawyer, Mark Garagos, on. Mark Garagos is a celebrity attorney who got Chris Brown out of a couple of lawsuits, settled a couple of lawsuits for basically nothing. So he's the right man for the job, I guess. But who carries in their car, $1 million worth of jewelry? I mean, who drives around with and leaves $1 million worth of jewelry in their car? Who does that? You see, this already smells bad. This smells fishy already. But does anybody want to see a sex tape with Usher and Tamika? It would the Usher thing, because we knew Usher when he was, before his voice changed. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see him as a grown man having sex. I don't want to see that. And Tamika, I mean, I got nothing against her. I think she's a very pretty lady. Maybe some ugly ways, but I think she's pretty, but I don't want to see them have sex. I don't. That's not my thing, though. So, maybe when I was younger, it might have been my thing. I haven't been younger in such a long time. I don't remember. So. The View sucks. The TV show, it sucks so bad. ABC News took it over a few weeks ago. Did you hear about that? And the Daily Mail is now saying that ABC is trying on the low to woo back Joy Behar and Sherry Shepherd. Apparently, The View did a focus group and found out that viewers think the show is too serious now and that the fun is gone. And so they want to get back to pop culture topics and just stuff, more fluff. And, having a good time kicking it for an hour. That's what it was intended, and that's what it was for many years. But they got away from that Joy left the show. They told Sherry to take a hike, and then they brought in some other woman, and they brought back Rosie O'Donnell, and Rosie has isolated herself supposedly from everybody else, and it's real tense there, and they're trying to find some way to get it back. I think they're done. I think the show is over. I think it's been done for a while. You know, I never could get past the fact that they talk over each other constantly. One person talks, the other person talks. And that first person doesn't quit talking, and then someone else chimes in. You got 4 or 5 of them going at the same time. That is irritating. I mean, I just, you know. And plus, the show's not targeted to me. I get that. Sherry, by the way, just signed on to be a regular on The Soul Man, Cedric the Entertainer, Niecy Nash's show. I got news about Niecy Nash I got to tell you about, too. And Joy's doing a one-woman show, Me, My Mouth, and I, off Broadway. By the way, the viewership is down 30% from last year. That's a lot. That's a lot of viewership down. That's a lot, y'all. 30% down from a year ago we're in very big trouble. That's what that is. Niecy Nash did a question and answer thing with Playboy magazine, and she talked about her relationship book. She talked about in the book where she says a BJ a day keeps a divorce attorney away. Niecy Nash says she feels like men are profoundly simple. She wanted to use the title of Chapter 3 as a title for the book, which was Stomach Full, Penis Empty, A Woman's Guide to a Happy Marriage. She says they'll keep him fed and drained and you have no problem. You see, and see, that bothers me because here we are again putting men in a box, putting a group of people, putting a group of whatever in a box. Okay? She's saying do that to your man once a day and everything's fine. I disagree. I disagree. Now, I know I'm different. I know I'm wired different. You know, I'm not a sexual person. You know, I'm a sexual being, but I'm not a sexual person. I get that. But I think she's oversimplifying things, ladies. And that's it. When you oversimplify things in relationships, great relationships are great because they're hard to maintain. Great things in life we celebrate because they're hard to get. Okay, this is why, like, Beyonce will do, you know, a year's worth of concerts, and then her, Jay-Z, and the baby, they'll go to, you know, Paris for like 2 months and just chill because they're celebrating what they just accomplished because it was hard. It was hard work. Relationships are hard, and they're complicated. That's what makes them hard. There are many layers to a relationship. That's what makes them hard. So when a relationship is going good, that's why we're happy for it, because it's going great and we work hard at it. I'm madly in love with my wife, who I've known almost 30 years. And it's hard. It's harder for her to stay married to me than it is for me to stay married to her because she's a very giving person and I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Broadcasting has been my mistress my entire adult life. And that's just something that you have to deal with if you're going to be the woman in my life, right? And it's just one of those things. And God bless my wife each and every day, man, because without her, I am doo-doo. Hey, I told you Monday about Genuine being broke because he's being sued by the producer of his first album. What was that, The Bachelor? He owes the IRS like $300,000. That producer wants $250,000. Right there, that's $500,000 right there. And supposedly Soleil got him in the divorce. Well, now Genuine says, you know, he said on Instagram, quote, "We are not yet divorced, but we are currently separated and working towards coming to our own agreement without lawyers to amicably and fairly divorce." Splitting hairs, are we, Genuine? Are we splitting those baby hairs, man? Or is that what we're doing? We're split. You guys are working on a divorce. You're divorced. Come on, man. She got you too, huh, dude? Yeah, man. You're going to need a second job. You're going to need a second job. Robin Williams' suicide was sad on so many levels because Robin Williams was an icon. He's an icon. He's a legend. You know? But they say that Robin was 63 years old when he took his life earlier this year. And they say his suicide was triggered by dementia and hallucinations. This is according to a report. He had a form of dementia called, and I hope I'm saying this right, is it Lewy body dementia? That's what he had when he died. The National Institute of Health says that Lewy body dementia causes abnormal deposits of protein in the brain and results in progressive cognitive decline, visual hallucinations, and often depression. Now, we know that he suffered from depression. We did find out that he had a form of dementia, but apparently it was obviously too much for him because he took his own life, and I'm very sad about that. But man, 63 years old. You know, when you think about dementia and Alzheimer's and things like that, you think about people who are in their, mid to late 70s and beyond, right? You don't really think of someone as 63 years old as having dementia. Wow. I hope he can rest in peace, although I was always told that people who take their lives never really rest in peace because you committed a sin. Thou shalt not kill. That includes killing yourself, right? So, actress Tasha Smith and her husband Keith Douglas are going back and forth now. Apparently they're at war. And the story was that he feared that she was trying to kill him. And so they're in court, and Tasha is saying, no, I'm afraid for my life because of him. When he's in a rage, I feel that he's capable of killing me, is what she told the court. She filed legal documents claiming that Keith Douglas, her husband, flies into jealous rages, calling her a bleeping dyke and accusing her of sleeping with other women. What's the deal with her and other women? Why isn't she being accused of sleeping with other men? Why is it other women? Did y'all bring a third party home? And now he thinks that you're into. Is that what that is? What is that about? What is who said what? What? Now he says, you know what? Tasha Smith flies into booze, fuel rages, and threatens to kill me. She's warned him not to fall asleep or something's going to happen. He did get a restraining order last week that required Tasha Smith to stay 2 yards away from him while they're in the house together. That's stupid. That's a restraining order. Somebody has to leave the house. You can't have a restraining order, both parties in the house, and one of them has to stay 2 feet away from the other one, or 2 yards away. 2 yards, that's 6 feet. You have to stay 6 feet away from each other while they share a house together. She apparently is ready to call a bunch of celebrities if it goes to divorce to validate her claims of abuse, including calling Tisha Campbell Martin and Elizabeth Rom, who was on Law and Order for a while, and she's on some new show now too. I can't think of the name of it, but yeah. Tasha Smith says that she's friends with Michael Jace. Michael's the actor who shot and killed his wife. This thing is a mess. The world has gone crazy. The world's gone crazy about this Kim Kardashian photo spread in the Paper magazine. Did you hear about this? Paper, it's a magazine called Paper. It's basically a pop culture magazine. You know, it's got a little hoity-toity to it on the internet. And I guess Kim has I guess she has stock in the company. I don't know what reason she would do what she did and all that stuff like that, because she's naked in the magazine. That big booty is out there for the world to see. I mean, bare naked booty and boobs. There's boobs too. If you go to the website, there are about 3 or 4 pictures, and there's full boobs right there too. You know, and people, even celebrities are jumping on the bandwagon, saying, you know, how you're somebody's mom? Why would you do this? You know, but you need to understand. First of all, hey, she likes it. I love it. Okay, but Kim was like this before she had a baby, and you could say, well, when you have a baby, your life is supposed to change. It is. It's not mandatory. Apparently, there's no law that says you have to change your life. So she's, you know, still living her life. I mean, the woman has a sex tape. You know, they can say all they want that it got stolen, but it was being sold by a company, so they had to give their permission. I talked about that earlier with the Tamika and Usher thing, right? So that's a real thing. She is who she is. And bottom line is this. You can say what you want. Her boobs are fake or her booty is fake. I don't know if they are or not. I don't even care. Okay? But the woman is gorgeous. I mean, I'm just keeping it real. She is I'm not even talking about her butt or her boobs. Just let's look at her face. And yes, she probably had a nose job, but she is beautiful. She's a beautiful girl, you know. And if you're hating on her, criticizing her for her body, you're a hater. I ain't hating. I just, she's got money to get her. Well, yeah, but that's the game. That's the game. You know what I'm saying? She's a beautiful girl. She's got ugly ways, and they pimp. I mean, look who her mom is. Her mom, on Keeping Up with the Kardashians, I read, what was that, a couple of years ago? Like, she reconnected and had lunch with an old flame for the sole purpose of trying to get a reaction from Bruce on national television. So she whored out herself to get a rise out of her husband. Right? A lot of people say she had a lot to do with the Kim and Ray J sex tape. That she orchestrated the whole thing. Now, I don't know if that's true. I would pray to God that it isn't. Would it surprise me? It would shock me, but it wouldn't surprise me. Does that make sense? It just doesn't, But Kim Kardashian is a beautiful woman. And if she wants to put her ass out there like that, I think the whole angle of the spread in the magazine was break the internet by putting that picture out there and seeing, how it could crash the internet. I don't think, when was the last time the internet crashed? Was that when Michael Jackson died? I was doing radio with Tammy Holland, and Michael Jackson's death broke Google. Remember that? You couldn't search anything on Google because the 404 page would come up. Michael Jackson's death crashed the internet. I don't think Kim Kardashian's ass is going to crash the internet, because there's plenty of those shots out there, right? Remember when she did the photo spread when she was in the thong bikini and her butt was hanging over and got sand all over it? I mean, it didn't do anything. Now it's bare. It's oily. It's huge. It's not unattractive. It's not ugly. But, hey, that's her life, man. That's her life. We got other problems in this world, right? Man, I'll leave it right there, man, because I'm at 27 minutes. And I try to keep it somewhere between 25 and 30 minutes most times. So I'll wrap it up right here. Thank you so much for listening. I do video shows too. I just did an iTony Tech news that you may have missed. It's simple tech news. Nothing, no Canuter valves or Fragistats or whatever. No, just simple tech news. Apple discontinued the iPod Classic in my latest one that I posted, and I'll tell you why they discontinued the iPod Classic. Microsoft has a new iOS version, an Apple version of their Office suite, because their old version was booty, and this time it's free. Microsoft also has a sale on some of their subscriptions. You get a great deal now through January 4th. That you get all kinds of things for like $199. But I am just simple tech news. And you can check it out if you go to TonyScottShow.com. It'll take you to my YouTube page, and you can watch it right there. So there you go. All right. Don't forget, make your plans to join me December 5th. December 5th is the first Tony Scott Live, and we're going to do it in Ferguson from Kathy's Kitchen. It's a great restaurant. They're great food, Kathy. They're great people there. I'm excited about being down there. We're going to put it on the internet. We're going to put it on TV. We're going to have a ball. We would love for you to come out and show the love. All right. I've gotten lots of people email me, message me, posted on social media how excited they are for this, and that they are going to be there, and they're looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing you and reconnecting with you in St. Louis. For those in St. Louis, if don't live in St. Louis, because this podcast is available around the world. Hopefully one day you can come and we'll have something going on then too, right? Thanks again for listening, downloading, and sharing the Tony Scott Internet Show. I'll talk to you tomorrow.